I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Irish eyes are smiling tonight as the stars and cars of the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series are going to head off to Michigan International Speedway, Brooklyn, Michigan. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you hanging out with us here this evening. Coming off a race 1 week ago that saw Craig Forsyth be pretty darn near dominant, especially over the last third of the race. Picking up the win at Nashville Super Speedway, James Watson and Alec Coates rounding out the top three. We're going to head for a big, fast 2-mile oval, and this race is going to be insane. Expect a lot of pack racing coming up here this evening. First, let's tell you about the weather conditions tonight, presented by our friends at the Weather Center. 75-degree ambient temperature. 24% humidity. Wind's going to be out of the north at 2 miles an hour. 117-degree track temperature, rivaling what we saw at Sonoma last season for the hottest in the history of the series. All that means is the racing action is going to be absolutely intense. Pick up your winner from 1 week ago, Craig Forsyth, as he makes his way around the racetrack. You'll see the times pop up on the screen here as drivers get their laps completed. Forsyth going to be one of the first. Looks like Connor Baldwin, Zach Evans going to be the first ones across the line here. Jim Brooks going purple in Sector 1, but he's going to lose that time. First lap in the books will belong to Zach Evans, and he will be your pole sitter. Jim Brooks setting a good lap here as well to move towards the top of the charts. Now Vic Aldrich jumps to the top of the board, 32.59. Jim Brooks, J.W. Miller, Alec Coates, Sebastian Kinder. New quick time, Charles Teed, 32.56 seconds. 32.56. The lap time for Charles Teed. Everybody very, very close here, within a couple of tenths. Forsyth on an absolute heater. What's he going to do here? He's quickest, top of the board, 32.509, 32.509 seconds. Getting into some monster lap times now. That 32.509 second lap, working out to 221.477 miles per hour. Wow. That lap, pretty darn outstanding. Pick up James Watson as he's going to come around to complete lap number 1. The other big story is we are now pretty deep into the second half of the season here is the points battle shaping up between Matt Wagner and James Watson. After that race 1 week ago, we are down to 24 points, separating Wagner and Watson at the top of the board. J.W. Miller, Craig Forsyth, Alec Coates will complete the top 5. All of those drivers 80 or more points back. You see the numbers on Watson there. He's going to come down across the start-finish line a little bit slower there on the first sector, and he will not improve. 14th on the board at a 32.862 second lap. Here is his nemesis for the championship, Matt Wagner. See what Wagner's going to do here on lap number 1. Still haven't seen Ty Richter, Joseph Morales, TJ McMurray, or Julian Altina on the racetrack just yet. Wagner going to be 15th quick, but he goes purple sector 1. This could be an outstanding lap for Matt Wagner. All the way down on the apron, car twitching around like it's its job. Where's Matt Wagner going to go? Second quick on the board, 32.519 seconds. 32.519, 221.409. The lap time for Matt Wagner. Now Ty Richter getting out onto the racetrack. My goodness, this is going to be a ton of fun to watch tonight here. Taking a look at the timing and scoring screen, how about a total gap? If you want to find a quarter of a second in this field, you got to go back to 14th place, Connor Baldwin. Don't blink. You'll miss the first 15 cars in line. And that's it. Qualifying is over. Lap is not going to get scored. And we are going to get ready to go green flag racing for the first of our doubleheader races tonight. The second race of the doubleheader going to be Indy Pro 2000 Championship, coming up from the newly repaved, rescanned Watkins Glen International. We got to get through this one here first, though. Let's show you tonight's starting grid. Or at least we're going to try to show you the starting grid anyway. Craig Forsyth will start tonight's race from the pole position, lining up alongside of Matt Wagner, Charles Teed, and Vic Aldrich on row number 2. Jeff Destino, Navarre Luce on row 3. Jim Brooks and Sebastian Kinder making his second appearance of the season, rolling off in the 4th row. Row number 5, J.W. Miller and Cullen Johnston. Alec Coates, Zach Evans on row 6. Jason Hand, Connor Baldwin on row number 7. Row number 8 will see James Watson and Joseph Morales. TJ McMurray, Julian Altina on row number 9. All alone in row 10 will be Ty Richter. And the cars are only going to get the single pace lap here tonight. Field making their way through turns 3 and 4, expecting a 2-stop race tonight. There is the potential that these drivers could make it on 2 stops. Anywhere from lap 24 to lap number 30 is what we are anticipating. Green flags in the air. We are underway here at Michigan. 3 wide for the race lead into turn number 3, and it's going to be Matt Wagner leading lap number 1. 5-car breakaway at the front of the field. Wagner, Forsyth, T. Luce, and Aldrich leading the field off of turn number 2, but here comes 6th place Jim Brooks, and he is bringing the entire field with him. It's going to be interesting to see who goes for the fuel conservation strategy early on. If you can make 30 laps, that's going to get you 30, 60, 90, maybe even save you a little bit for a green-white checkered late in the race. You have to get to at least lap number 28 before the first pit stop if you're going to make the 2-stop strategy play out for you. First side-by-side battle going to be Jim Brooks and Navarre Luce. Luce getting back in line. Top 5 all going to stay in line. Fanning out a little bit into corner number 3. Ty Richter setting the fastest lap of the race. Last time by at a 32.44. And that was with a 0 on the end of it. Take a look back in the pack here. Ty Richter, James Watson side by side. 3 wide down the back straightaway. TJ McMurray going to be involved in that one as well. Here's Richter now looking to the inside of McMurray, and he wants a piece of Sebastian Kinder as well. He's trying to go 3 for 1 in 3 and 4. Not quite close enough to do it. Now McMurray going to fight right back. Joseph Morales going fastest lap of the race at a 32.429. Things continuing to shake up here at the front of the field. Charles T., Jim Brooks, Matt Wagner. Oh, man, that was the 10 of Alec Coates getting way onto the apron, entering turn number 3. One of 2 collegiate paint schemes in the race here tonight. Alec representing the home team, the Michigan Wolverines, competing for the College Football Playoff National Championship, at least in the semifinals anyway. Coming up here on New Year's. Drop a comment, by the way. Let us know where you're watching from here tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Oh, Coates dipping out a little bit there connection-wise. Matt Wagner led the first lap of the race. He's now fallen back to the 5th position. You almost wonder if he's gone into a little bit of a fuel save mode, because the second of the collegiate cars tonight passing him on the outside of the racetrack, that is Connor Baldwin in the Texas A&M Aggies. Number 19, Connor going fastest lap last time by. That was a big move there for Jeff Destino. Almost thought he got the outside wall off of turn number 2. Baldwin's fastest lap, 32.411 seconds. Couple of tenths off the qualifying times, but still absolute rocket ships here around Michigan International Speedway. Jim Brooks to the inside of Charles Teed for the race lead. I don't even know where to look at this point. Good Lord. Oh, big hit into the outside wall. J.W. Miller, he's going to go sliding down to the inside of the racetrack. That may have been some net code with Connor Baldwin, but I tell you what, that 6 car is going to be junk. Let's take a look at that one again. See if we can get it for you here up in slow-mo. Take a look off of turn number 2. Baldwin down to the inside of the racetrack. He's going to slide up. That may have been net code on corner exit. See if we're going to get a clean look at it here, but Baldwin just took off up the racetrack. Yeah, there may have been contact there. As it stands right now, Baldwin's car still looks good. In fact, he's to the inside, making a move on Jim Brooks for second. Connor Baldwin, one of those guys who is never going to do a ton of fuel saving calculations or anything pre-race. He is a foot to the floor and go kind of driver. Oh, man, Jim Brooks up into the outside wall as well. He was riding along that safer barrier down the D-shaped front straightaway. Big time huevos there, man. Keep the foot in it and let's go. Alec Coates now going to be down to his inside. Coates will pick up third. Here comes Craig Forsyth. He ducks back in line as they get into 3. Charles Teed holds on to the race lead. Baldwin, Brooks, and Forsyth up on the outside of the racetrack. Getting pretty close to where you could theoretically make it on 2 stops if you got the caution help timed out at just the right time. Coates now having the look to the inside of Brooks. Is Baldwin going to have the look for the race lead in 3? Baldwin not quite close enough. May get a pretty big tow here down the front straightaway, though. Charles Teed going to have the look to the inside. Baldwin keeps it up high, wide, and handsome down the front straightaway. Still not close enough. We are side by side turning pace laps at 215 miles an hour. Last lap by 32.833. For your race leader, 219.292 miles an hour. For Charles Teed, Alec Coates able to come up around Connor Baldwin. Baldwin seems content to hold that outside line. Maybe doing a little bit less damage to the tire. It is the long way around the racetrack, though. Man, Baldwin got a great run into 3. Had to back out of it just a little bit. Coates is going to be right there. Where's Baldwin going to go? Oh, he's into the wall. Hard into the wall goes Connor Baldwin. He's spinning down to the inside of the racetrack. And he pounds the inside retaining wall, but it will not bring out a caution flag. Take a look here at the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. See it again. He tried to sneak it up into the outside lane, just clips the outside wall, and that's all she wrote. Big time contact into the inside retaining wall. Baldwin will have the repair, but he's got to take the long tow all the way around this racetrack. So the night is basically going to be over here for Connor Baldwin as Charles Teed looking to the inside of Alec Coates now. That's one of the things about the sim racing world that I absolutely love. You get down to an incident on the racetrack, so long as it's not in the racing line, you're pretty much not going to get a yellow flag, even for a very high-speed wreck like we saw for Connor Baldwin. Seeing the comment checking in from Surf Gonzo. Let's go, Vic. Just joined from Phoenix. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully you're enjoying your early evening out there. Guess about 5 p.m. there in the West. A little after, anyway. There's Charles Teed holding on to the race lead over Alec Coates, Jim Brooks, Craig Forsyth, Matt Wagner. J.W. Miller being scored a couple of laps down after his early incident where he made contact with Connor Baldwin. Talk about your championship contenders here just a little bit. There is Matt Wagner in the area 51, number 1, carrying that number as the defending champion of the series. Matt down 3 spots from the drop of the green flag here this evening, but running very comfortably there in the 5th position. Looking a little bit further back, we'll pick up James Watson in the number 39. Watson is up 4 spots. He's gotten a little bit of help from Miller and Baldwin as we see Connor Baldwin getting back out onto the racetrack. Watson has Sebastian Kinder right there on his rear wing. Something tells me those guys could be doing a little bit of fuel-saving work together here. Back to the front, side by side. Coates and Teed down into turn number 1. Now we're really getting close to where that window could work for caution flag pit stops. But at the rate everything's gone, it's been clean and green thus far for the first 20 laps. Oh, man, I think Ty Richter may have gotten a piece of that outside safer barrier. Car definitely slowed up big time on the exit of turn number 2. Battle for the race lead, staying intense. Charles Teed holding on to the spot over Alec Coates. Jim Brooks running third. Fourth is Craig Forsyth. Fifth, TJ McMurray. How about this one? Great run for TJ here in the number 48. He is now up 13 spots from where he started this race. Obviously has the setup figured out here in race trim. The other hard charger of the night is your race leader, Alec Coates, as he's going to battle with Charles Teed into 3. Alec currently up 9 spots from his starting position, almost able to call it 10 at the line. Bonus points do get awarded in this series for pole position, leading 1 or more laps, leading the most laps, as well as running as if you run an incident-free race. That also gets you a bonus point. So the calculations can be a hair wonky here, trying to do them in race. As it stands right now, Matt Wagner looks like he's going to pick up about 17 points on James Watson. The question becomes, though, as we are at the opening of the pit window, have the cars at the front saved enough fuel to try to make it to lap 28? Or are we going to see anybody have to duck in here early on? And the other part of that also is you have to complete lap 28. So you're actually working lap 29 when you would come in for that stop. If you can make it out to lap 30, oh, buddy, 3 wide back in the pack. Let's pick that one up. Ty Richter, Sebastian Kinder, Julian Altina getting after it. And these cars very likely to have been saving fuel from the beginning. It is 1 second from first to 8th, and there you see, in fact, more than the top 8. Right there on your screen, Alec Coates back to the inside of Charles Teed. One of the issues here is if you need to stop, you cannot get caught out on the outside of the racetrack. Give the video a like and a share. Hopefully you are enjoying the racing here. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll get your comments up on the air. Drivers currently putting lap number 27 on the board for their stint length. So very, very close here to getting into that 2-stop window. And if everybody makes it, it's sort of a moot point. Wow, that was a big let-off there for Charles Teed. He's going to lose a couple of spots in turns 3 and 4. Jim Brooks and Matt Wagner are going to be right there with them as well. You wonder if they're getting tight on fuel here. Cullen Johnston looks like he's going to be the first car to come down pit lane here at lap number 29. Oh, man, TJ McMurray bouncing it off the outside safer barrier. Now McMurray going to have the look to the inside of Craig Forsyth. The importance of getting to lap 30. Here comes Charles Teed. He's going to be your next car out of the lead pack, along with Joseph Morales. Oh, man, Morales may not have gotten that car down to pit road speed limits. If you can make it to lap 30, that gets you to lap 90. If we have the late race caution flag, you could potentially be talking about having enough fuel for the green-white checkered finish. Pick up the battle once again at the front of the field here. Oh, and here comes Alec Coates. He's going to slide it sideways. Oh, hold on to it, Seb. Wow. How did Sebastian Kinder not absolutely drill Alec Coates? That's impressive. See if Coates or Kinder is going to get a pit lane speeding penalty here. Coates hits the marks cleanly. Car is up on the jacks. It'll be 4 fresh Firestone Firehawk tires, full tank of Speedway racing fuel. Kinder and Coates both going to be down and away. Sebastian Kinder beating Alec Coates off pit road. Here comes Craig Forsyth, Jim Brooks, TJ McMurray, Julian Altina, Ty Richter, Jeff Destino. What that tells me is we are absolutely in two-stop territory here. Basically, the question now is, Matt Wagner is hoping for the caution flag. He wants to come around and put everybody a lap down, then see the caution flag come out. If that happens, he's going to trap a large chunk of this field at least 1 lap down. In fact, here comes Wagner around Forsyth. Jeff Destino spending an extended amount of time in his pit box. Same for Joseph Morales in the 61. Vic Aldrich, Navarre Luce making their way down pit lane. So far, the only cars that have not stopped, actually the only car that hasn't stopped at this point, is race leader Matt Wagner. Craig Forsyth coming around Connor Baldwin. Here is Wagner trying to get that car woed up. Oh, man. Get it down to pit road speed. That's going to be tight. Forsyth now back on the lead lap. Matt Wagner going to lap 34. In fact, putting 35 on the board before he gets to his pit box. Wagner hits the marks. Car goes up on the jacks. The question now is there going to be a pit road speeding penalty? He was hot. And no, there will not be. Wow, what a stop for Matt Wagner. 8.4 seconds. Total time for the stop. Here comes Craig Forsyth, Charles Teed, Jim Brooks, all coming around Wagner. Julian Altina within about a second and a half, but the cycle of pit stops has really separated everybody out here. Pull up the graphics here, show you the pit stop strategy calls. Charles Teed stopping at lap number 29. Forsyth and Brooks at 31. Wagner at 34. There's your total time on pit lane. About 36.5 seconds is what the number looks like it's going to be. New fastest lap of the race belonging to Victor Aldrich. Vic setting a lap time of 32.283 seconds. About 3/10 off of qualifying pace here. 200, actually, excuse me, that was in the draft. He was faster than the qualifying lap times. 32.283, 223.028 miles per hour. Here you see Connor Baldwin running up there with the race leaders. He is 2 laps down. However, he's really going to have to push very, very hard if he wants to get back to 1 lap down and have the potential of being a lucky dog late in this race, as J.W. Miller is back on the pit lane. As it stands right now, Jeff Destino, TJ McMurray ahead of Baldwin for that position. Forsyth back down to the inside into turn number 3. Jim Brooks going to be right there as well. Let's show you the intervals here, what everything looks like from race car to race car right now. Tightest battle is going to be at the front. You see all 3 of those drivers lit up in orange. We'll show you the gaps. You got to go about 7/10 of a second back to find Matt Wagner. He's starting to catch that line. Alec Coates, Julian Altina, you're about another second or so back. If the leaders keep slicing and dicing, though, that's going to bring a lot more race cars back into play here. Taking a look at the comers and goers here tonight. Julian Altina up 12 to run in the 6th position. Ty Richter is up 9 as we are approaching the halfway point. Biggest drops on the night belongs to Jeff Destino. He's down 11. J.W. Miller down 6 after the early incident, having that contact with Connor Baldwin. Cross flags this time by halfway home here. And we are only 24 minutes into this one. Good Lord, this race is going by in a hurry. Teed going to grab the lead back to the inside, slide back just a little bit. 3 wide through 3 and 4. Baldwin at the top of the racetrack. He has, looks like Matt Wagner and Julian Altina right behind him. Alec Coates catching that group as well. So the slide into pit lane not costing Coates all that much. Nice recovery drive there for Alec. Then you got to go a little bit further back to find Sebastian Kinder, Vic Aldrich, and Navarre Luce. We haven't done one of these in a little bit here for you. What do you think, race fans? Y'all at home, you go ahead and crank it up. So lap number 46 will be completed here at the Michigan International Speedway. Down to 39 laps to go. Charles Teed, Craig Forsyth continue to cycle that lead back and forth. Only about halfway through the stint here, or at least we should be about halfway through the stint. Nobody close enough that I think they would attempt a one-stop race here unless they started getting a ton of caution help. But we haven't seen that yet this race. It's about another 15 or so laps before these cars are going to be heading down pit road. Have to give a huge shout out here tonight to our friends at the Weather Center. They're known for their offensively accurate weather forecast for eastern Pennsylvania. However, the DeWeather Cares arm doing some pretty incredible philanthropic work. When the storms hit western Kentucky this past weekend, the calls started going out for various supplies, and they came to find out that there were 3 fire departments that were completely decimated to the point of not having fire trucks, gear, anything for their volunteer firefighters. DeWeather Cares and DeWeather Center sprung into action, and they departed today with 4, count them, 4 fire trucks being donated to these towns in western Kentucky. A tractor trailer full of supplies will be pulling out of eastern Pennsylvania on, I believe, Saturday morning. And, I mean, it's everything. It's bunker gear, boots, gloves, helmets, everything to equip the firefighters. SCBA packs, which are critical to working inside of hazardous environments. I mean, you name it. Hearst rescue tools. Literally, it would not surprise me to say hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment, not even counting the fire trucks, going out there to Kentucky. Kudos to you, DeWeather Center and DeWeather Cares. Thank you very much for loving humanity. They love you all. They love the ladies a little bit more. As we work lap number 51, Craig Forsyth holding on to the race lead, but Charles Teed looking right back to his inside. No surprise to see these 2 guys at the front of the field. Both of them absolutely love these big, fast ovals in the IndyCar. Same for Jim Brooks and Julian Altina, for that matter. Those guys are big track specialists. Oh, what a run for Altina into turn number 1. He goes 3 wide. Julian Altina having a look at the race lead. Not quite close enough. Has to slide back out of line. He's not going to get a ton of drafting help down the back straightaway. Alec Coates joining the party. So is Matt Wagner. Some of these cars that have lost the draft of the leaders are going to be in very, very big trouble, including Jason Hand, who is not very far ahead of the leaders on the racetrack right now. The next car to go a lap down would be James Watson, but he's about half a lap down at this point. But running with Zach Evans about 14 seconds behind this pack of leaders. Altina having to look to the outside. Oh, what a save. Hold on to it. Alec Coates going around. Oh, can he spin and win? What a save by Alec Coates. Oh, we got to find that one again. Keep your eye on that number 10 machine. He got it all sorts of squirrely. Car loops out sideways. Not a full spin. We'll call it good enough for government work, though. Unfortunately for Alec Coates, he's now going to be running in the 9th position, about 8 seconds behind your race leaders. I'll tell you what, though, with only 30 laps to go, if I'm Alec Coates, I am hitting pit lane this time. Make the pit stop, start running off the big monster laps, see where the draft is going to bring you out. He's going to need a long shot strategy to work one way or the other. But we are definitely now inside the window for final pit stops. Matt Wagner holding on to the fastest lap of the race at a 32.237. 223.346 miles per hour. But the lap's definitely slowing down here just a little bit. Julian Altina, your hard charger of the race, going for the race lead. He's up 16. We'll see if we'll call it 17 at the line. We do not. 3/100ths separating Craig Forsyth and Julian Altina at the start-finish line. And this very much looks like it could be a 5-car shootout for the race win here. Y'all are quiet out there in comments land. There's the call. Not a surprise to see it. Alec Coates going to be the first of the race leaders to make his way down pit road. Cullen Johnston coming along with him. Coates going to hit the box cleanly. Here comes Altina, Brooks, and Teed making their way down pit lane. Coates down and away cleanly. Altina leading 3 of the lap cars down the pit lane. He will be the first one to get to his box. Slides it right up again against the stop sign. Car is up on the jacks for Firestone. Firehawks full tank Speedway fuel. He's down and away. 8.28 seconds. The time of the stop. Kellum the second checking in on YouTube saying I'm multitasking. That's why he's quiet. All right, we'll take that. Thank you very much for hanging out with us here. We appreciate it. Here comes Craig Forsyth and Vic Aldrich down pit lane. Again, Matt Wagner showing a ton of fuel-saving capacity in that number 1. It's going to make for a very, very short pit stop for Matt Wagner. Craig Forsyth down and away, 8.22 seconds the time of the stop. Here comes Matt Wagner. Going to promote Navarre Luce to the race lead. That's a car we haven't gotten to show much here tonight. We'll show you that purple and green number 96. Luce having some connection issues here, but show you Matt Wagner as he gets down to his pit box. Same deal, cars up on the jacks for Firestones, full tank Speedway fuel. Wagner down and away, 9.35 seconds. A kiss of death for that one. Wagner not even off of pit lane yet, and the rest of the leaders come streaking by through 1 and 2. Race leader Navarre Luce is on pit lane. Craig Forsyth holding on to a 3/4 of a second lead over Julian Altina. Altina, Brooks, Teed, Wagner, they're all going to be in line, so they should be able to get caught up here. Wagner a little bit further back. He may lose the draft. Down to 24 to go here. This could be a 3 or 4 car shootout if Matt Wagner can't get caught back up here pretty quickly. Altina has caught right back up, and he is going to be battling on the outside of the racetrack. Jim Brooks stays right in line. We'll have the lapped car. Trying to see who that might be. Just ahead of them on the racetrack. Let's see. Jeff Destino making his way down pit lane. Oh, man, they were almost 3 wide going into turn number 1. Going to be 20 to go next time by. Wagner starting to get caught up here just a little bit. Not gaining a ton of time just yet, but we're seeing it tick off by the 100th of a second. And the more the leaders continue to duel like this, the faster that number is going to shrink. And at a certain point here, you would think the gloves are going to come off. They've been playing nicely for the time being. I don't know that that's going to happen later on in this race. As we saw with J.W. Miller and Connor Baldwin early in this race, the side drafting can be very risky when you start talking about the possibility of netcode. In the real world, yes, you can play with the air on somebody's car and do it pretty consistently. The problem is when you're trying to do it in the virtual world and the computers aren't perfectly sure of where your car's supposed to be. How about 3 wide for the race lead into turn number 3. Forsythe up the middle, teed down to the inside. Drag race to the line. That was tight. Call it Altina by a couple of thousandths. Teed once again going to have the look. He's going to try to force it 3 wide. 2 for 1. How about it? Charles Teed to the race lead. Oh, man, now we're going to drag race. This is going to get intense late in this race. The dogfighting's allowed Matt Wagner to catch up, and he's going to be right there in this battle now. Question is 6th place Navarre Luce going to get caught up? I mean, he's 7 seconds back, but... At this rate, any one of the leaders makes a mistake, you could be taking out a lot of race cars. By the way, second, I hate to take our eyes off the race lead because they're again 3 wide into turn 1. Wow, what a power move by Matt Wagner, pushing that number 1 Area 51 machine up to the head of the field. Teed going to go 3 wide. Oh, Wagner tried to slam the door. That got tight on corner entry. Now Wagner slides up the racetrack a little bit. He's going to have to give Forsythe some room. Four wide for the lead through 1 and 2. Oh, my goodness. Abject insanity as we head into the end-of-year break here at the Michigan International Speedway. Things are getting rowdy in a big way. $13 to go here at Michigan. Who's it going to be? Any one of the top 5 cars that are all within about 0.2 of each other. Wagner throws the block up to the high side, tries to break the air off the front of Forsyth. Here comes Altina down to the inside of Teed, now to the inside of Forsyth. Forsyth gets the good run up on the outside of the racetrack. Oh, man, this is absolute insanity. And we will not see another round of pit stops. These guys are done. This is a straight dogfight to the finish. Oh, I think Julian Altina had to back out of it a little bit getting into turn number 1. He had a huge run down on the inside of the racetrack. Wagner almost down to the white line, separating the apron from the racing surface. Forsyth with Brooks and Altina in tow. Teed continuing to work that bottom side of the racetrack, following right in Matt Wagner's jet wash off the back of that car. Jim Brooks now wanting a piece of Matt Wagner at the front. 10 to go at Michigan, and the gloves are starting to come off. Wow, big block there from Brooks. That was a huge bizzle into 3. Really forced Forsyth up the racetrack. Julian Altina also almost having to get out of it. Here's Brooks having to look to the outside on Wagner. Forsyth now going to pull up behind him. Altina going to pick up 1. He's going to be 3 wide, middle of turn 3. Everybody cycling back out to 2 wide by the time they exit turn number 4. Altina gets past Teed, barely past Forsyth at the line. He's going to have the big run, and he's going to try to shoot the gap. Oh, man, he almost made contact with Wagner into 1. Holy cow, what a pass, Julian Altina. He passed 4 race cars from the start-finish line to the exit of turn 2. Wagner and Brooks right back alongside. They're still 3 wide for the lead. Wagner holding on to the middle groove. Altina and Brooks right there. Things are getting tight. Who's going to blink? That could be what decides this race. The tiniest little mistake. You almost wonder if Forsyth and Teed aren't getting out of it just a little bit. They've allowed the gap to open up to about 0.3 of a second as we stay 3 wide. We're now doing pace laps at 220 miles an hour. My goodness. What a battle for the race lead. You almost wonder, is Forsyth trying to set up the same kind of run that Altina got? We're down to 5 to go. Here comes Forsyth. He's going to have the big run. We'll see if he's going to do anything with it. Holds down to the inside lane. Oh, there's no way they're going to try 4 wide again, are they? Forsyth is right there, and there is a green-white checker that's in play. If the leaders wad these things up, We will see overtime. Brooks, Altina, Wagner, top three. 3 to go. It's a quarter of a second back to 5th place, Charles Teed. And they're gonna catch lap traffic. Lap car getting out of the way, down to the inside. Not gonna interfere with this fight for the win. Altina has the lead. Here comes Matt Wagner, fighting right back. He thought about 4 wide on the outside. Three wide is sketchy enough in these cars. 4 is not real smart. Oh, man, what a spectacular race this has been. Coming down to the white flag, 1 lap to go here at Michigan. Brooks up to the outside. Forsythe thought about going to the inside. Here comes Matt Wagner on the outside of the racetrack. Oh, man, big block by Altina off at turn number 2. Brooks looking to the outside. Wagner down to the inside. 3 wide into 3 for the win. Wagner throws the slider. Can Altina come back? Here comes Brooks back to the inside. Big blocks all the way around. Drag race to the line. Oh, my goodness, Julian Altina. Whoa, my goodness. I think iRacing may be scoring this a dead heat. We are seeing Julian Altina on 2 different scoring systems as the race winner. Oh, my goodness. What a finish. Hold up. Back that up. Wow. Absolutely incredible finish to this one here. Show it to you at quarter speed. I think Matt Wagner may have had that. Oh, my goodness. Let's take a look here and see what the race results say. Julian Altina by 5/1000ths of a second over Matt Wagner. Jim Brooks finished 3rd by 0.5. Craig Forsythe, Charles Teed, your top 5. 6 through 10, Alec Coates, Navarre Luce, Vic Aldrich, Sebastian Kinder, and Ty Richter. 11 to 15, James Watson, Zach Evans, Jason Hand, Cullen Johnston, and J.W. Miller. TJ McMurray, Jeff Destino, Connor Baldwin, and also Joseph Morales finishing in the 19th position here this evening. Oh, my goodness. Absolute insanity in this one. Just got to find Jim Brooks here. Here he is. Let's bring everybody up here into the booth. And we will start our Victory Lane interviews tonight with third place finisher Jim Brooks. And oh my goodness, Jim, congratulations on a fantastic run here tonight. That race was abject insanity at the front there. Oh, hold up. Looks like we lost. Jim, do you have a copy on us? Okay, maybe don't have Jim Brooks. Let's bring in runner-up finisher then, Matt Wagner.
How's it going, Chris?
Oh my goodness, Matt. That was ridiculous. Tell us about what you were thinking, and coming off a turn 4, it almost looked like you got a little bit loose. And is that where you lost 5 thousandths?
No, I had to, if I was going to run down there where I was, you have to tone down your weight jacker. If not, you're going to loop the car. So the only way if I was going to make that move, I'm going to have to lower it. But it's going to kill my exit speed. So it was a little bit of a sacrifice. He got into me at the very end. It forced me onto the apron. And there was the 5 thousandths pretty much.
Absolutely incredible race. What was that whole thing like? I mean, you guys ran a almost full fuel stint, 5 cars swapping the lead, 3 wide with your hair on fire.
No, it's nerve-wracking at times, but I've been through many races that that 3 wide deal and 2 wide deal with pack racing, and it's. I just wish IndyCar was more like this, but as per a safety issue, you know how the IndyCar rules are. Too many drivers lost their lives that way, so that's the reason why we have the aero package the way it is today. But I'm happy to come in P2. It was a great effort. I tried to send it. It didn't work out.
Well, it was a very good points night for you as well here. The lead was 24 entering the night, with James coming home in 11th place. This really could be where you started to distance yourself just a little bit.
Yeah, looking forward to the end of the race. We got that Kansas road course coming up next, I believe. That's something to that's a little bit new. So we'll have to check that out during practice. Hopefully see we run good there. That's all I hope for.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you very much here. Before we let you go, let's get all your sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Oh, I'd like to thank Jim Brooks, Charles T., and my non-legged friend Greg Forsythe being in the chat with me. It was fun. I really enjoyed them both. Area 51, those guys, I can't thank them enough. It's too many guys to think of. The mom, I know you're coming to visit. It's Christmas time. I'm looking forward to y'all coming back home, and we'll see you soon.
All right, buddy. Well, enjoy the couple of weeks off here. We will see you in 2022. And let's bring in our race winner. My goodness. 5 1,000ths of a second is what iRacing says at the line. Julian Altina, congratulations. Hard charger. Most positions gained, and perhaps ballsiest passed ever with almost a bump and run off of 4.
Yeah, actually I want to go back to that right away because I just checked it on the broadcast and we actually made contact there, but I just looked on the replay before I exited the sim and we actually didn't touch on my screen, so that's a bit of a weird one. But yeah, that was one of the most stressful races I've done in a very long time. It's actually been a while since I've been in a pack race too, so it was like a little bit strange to me again. But I was on the Watson Racing voice chat, even though I'm not. Well, actually, I'm on that team for this league, but I haven't really raced here, so I forgot about that. But I was literally shaking, so you can ask the guys if that's true or not. But that was one of the most stressful ones in a long time, and I'm happy that I came out on top. It's been a while since I've been here in Victory Lane in this league, mainly because I couldn't make the races, but it's good to be back.
Yeah, you don't run many of these. Well, let's explain it here. You do live in Europe, so the time difference is not real friendly to when the league runs. This is one of those deals. You show up, you get the win, and man, it was a ton of fun. Not surprising that it was netcode. We saw that several times over the course of the night. How does that mentally screw with your head as a driver when you think you know where they are, but netcode can all of a sudden flip everybody out.
Well, in this case, it doesn't really do too much for me because it didn't really affect me. But obviously for Matt, if because it was netcode, I feel kind of bad for him. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, overall in the entire race, we had 1 or 2 guys blinking quite a bit, but I was able to get by them relatively quickly. Other than I don't know, he has kind of a Spanish name, I think. But yeah, I don't know what his name is again because I forgot. But I had some troubles getting by him early on, but once I did, it was actually quite fine. So yeah, it doesn't really change too much for me because usually if it is a little bit of netcode or blinking, it's not too much. Sometimes with Seb though, he likes to blink out for like 20 seconds, so that's a bit of a different story. But most of the time it's just a little bit of moving around, which is fine for me. So not too much effect it has on me.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, thank you very much. That was an absolute blast to call that race tonight. And congratulations on getting another win here in the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. Let's make sure we let you get all your sponsor plugs and thank yous. And get the VOR plugs in before we let you out of here.
Yeah, so I'll start with the other logos on the cars first. I know that one of them is Fat Bastard Burrito. It's actually Gavin's sponsor. They sponsor him in the real racing that he does, but they're on the car as well. And they're actually quite supportive of us as well, so I want to thank them. And of course all the other logos, which are too many to name, so I won't bother. But they all are epic, so them as well. Of course, Velocity Online Racing is my own iRacing league. We actually have a main, which is North American IndyCar Series. We have a Euro IndyCar Series 2. And an Euro 5 league, all on Saturdays as well. The Euro 5 side is at noon. Euro is at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 in Europe, of course. And we have the main series at 7 p.m., which we are now in the off-season of, but Season 6 sign-ups for the main series are open as well, Season 4 for Euro and Euro 5. So go to Velocity OR on Twitter for more information, or you can even visit our website, which I actually need to update now that I speak about it, but velocityonlineracing.com. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for broadcasting this on the National Racing Network and all the admins involved. I actually need to pay some of my entry fees still, so I gotta make sure that I do that too. But yeah, I want to thank them for allowing me to race here, of course, when I can race here. So it's always a pleasure, and everybody that raced, of course, it's been a clean race, which is the most important thing on these big ovals. So it takes some courage and some respect. So I want to thank everybody for doing that too.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That was what an absolutely incredible race, Julian. Congratulations once again, and with that, it is about time for us to get out of here because we've got another barn burner coming up here very shortly. The Indy Pro 2000 Championship coming up from Watkins Glen International. That race will air in about 10 minutes or so at 9:15. In fact, a little less than that. So with that, it is time for us to head for the hills. We'll be back in just a few minutes here, and in fact, we may even leave the – actually, no, we do have to take the stream down on the Twitch side of things. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes here with the Indy Pro 2000 Series from Watkins Glen.